All right. Think we are I think we are live, which is good sign. And it looks like everything's working. I do have to zoom this out. I'll have to zoom this out just a bit. And it looks like everything's working. I'm guessing audio is working as well. So we already have one person in the stream. So hello to anyone, whoever's in this stream. I am going to put this into the Discord. And then we are heading into the off season of this rebuild. So okay, so I just need to put in a couple more things. Just gotta put it to the Discords, and then I should be ready to start currently. Alright. Should be good to go. Hopefully. So let's get into it. Let's get right into the off season. Now this is year number 1, so this is a big off season for us because we can make some big moves. And pretty blurry. Okay. So we are currently, or we finished off the year 6-10 on the we finished off the year 6-10, and we are now looking to join, or we are now looking to build a strong team. No one's in the stream yet. I don't know if I should wait. Guess I could fix some stuff up before the stream. All right, hopefully that looks pretty good. Taking a look at the roster. This is the roster now. Quick note, obviously, some players were, because I had to restart the franchise, just made it offline, so I could play it, because obviously EA decided to basically get rid of. Okay. All right, so we are going to just get the upgrade players. We're going to kind of move on to the offseason. So AJ Boye, Josh Allen, Taven Bryan, Josh Oliver, Jared Wilson. So these are all the players. Nathan Peterman got a skill point, which is pretty interesting. So we are going to be heading into the offseason. Or at least we're going to be heading to the playoffs. So we'll see who goes to the playoffs or who wins the Super Bowl. And We obviously didn't make the playoffs. Quickly, I'll just check out. I'm not going to check out stats because obviously it's all messed up. So these are the standings. Ravens were the best team in the AFC, and Saints were the best in the NFC. Could possibly happen. The Bills go 12-4, so Josh Allen had a pretty good year, I'm guessing. Yeah, we probably could have made the playoff. Probably not. The Bum Goals unexpectedly make the playoffs. The Rams go on a 5-game winning streak. Pretty surprising. Of then the Colts sneak in. So yeah, we have more of a middle pick, which obviously I don't mind. Or I mean, we got some wins. We got some other players that upgrades. So we are going to put on Do Not Disturb. Tyree Brady. Alright, so we got a sim. We'll go week by week and see what happens. So wild card weekend, let's see what happens in the wild card. I also forced win and forced lost all the games, so we would have had the same schedule basically. So, wild card round, the Patriots lose to the Colts. The Packers lose to the Rams barely, 27-28. Kind of want to see the stat line. Rams came back, so nice victory for them. The Browns are going to lose to the Chargers. Chargers score late, so Browns one and done. The Falcons beat the Cowboys, which the previous save, they were doing really bad, and now they're doing really good. Patriots. This was Pat's game. They got absolutely destroyed. I like to see that. I believe we destroyed them last in the Madden 19. And then for the Falcons, they came back in that one to win it. So we got divisional round. Chargers at Ravens, Falcons at Saints, Colts at Bills, and Rams at Bears. So that's your second round matchup. Let's see what happens. So the AFC, who will be in the conference championships games for both conferences. And it will be, hold up. Schedule. It'll be the Chargers and the Bills, and then the Falcons and Bears. So the Chargers are going to beat the Ravens. They absolutely destroyed them. So Lamar Jackson just can't get past the Chargers. Any turnovers? 3 turnovers. Falcons at Saints. 21 points for the Falcons in the second quarter. That really led them to the victory. And other than that, we lost to in the last episode. And then the Colts at the Bills. The Bills are going to win that one 24-30. Let's check it out. And the Bills win it in overtime. So that's pretty interesting. The Bills going to the AFC Conference Championship. And then you got the Bears and Rams. The Bears absolutely destroy the Rams, coming back from a 21-24 game. The Rams seem to have it, but they let it slip away from them. And then, yeah, so this is the AFC, both conference championship games. And we will be seeing who will win those games respectively. Let's go to the Pro Bowl. Check out if any of our players made the Pro Bowl. I doubt it. We can play the Pro Bowl, and I'm not going to do that. I might do that some other time. But looking at the Pro Bowl rosters, you got Tom Brady starting, so these are just quickly going through. Mark Ingram, if he's a free agent, I don't think he is, but if he is, that would be someone I kind of want to go after. Ricard, let's take a look. Cole Beasley makes the Pro Bowl, along with Philip Dorsett. Larry Fitzgerald makes a Pro Bowl. Any other notable names? I don't really see any Jaguars. No, it doesn't look like we're going to make one on the offense. Let's say missed one. Defensively, you got J.J. Watt for any Jaguars. Hunt's going to make it. He's 70 overall. Darren Lee makes it. That's kind of sad coming from a Jets fan. Even though they won today, it is very nice to see us win. And that's Keelan Cole's going to make it for kicking, but I don't think he's even on the team anymore. I think I traded him. So we're going to go to the Okay, so we're going to be simming to the Super Bowl. So apparently the Falcons and Chargers are in the Super Bowl. So Miles Jack gets superstar. Okay, I should probably go through the roster. So this is the roster now. This offseason is going to be a big one. N'Keal Harry has star development, so I think we expected that out of him. At least I would expect them. So Marquise. All right, I'm going to fix this up again. All right, but yeah, so N'Keal Harry has star development. That's kind of upsetting because, I mean, was hoping you would have like superstar or something. Looking at the defense, Miles Jack went up to his superstar development. He must have had a very good season. That's really good, and we locked him up. Along with Josh Allen, he is superstar. Other notable names, there aren't really any others. Brian went up to a 78. That's really, or at least he's a 78 right now at defensive end, and then Calais Campbell, and then Yannick Ngakoue. Stays at star development, but I mean, this defense, honestly, if we can build, we'll be getting Telvin Smith back, which he was out for the whole entire season, which was a huge honor defense. But we have the Falcons and Chargers. I want to check out the playoff schedule. I want to see what box scores. So, Bills are going to disappoint. Bills Mafia. Or that's actually the opposite of Bills Mafia. 21-6, and the Chargers, who were down 6-0 for the entire game, and the Bills just let it slip away, allowing 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. They just couldn't get it going. And then Atlanta is going to beat the Chicago Bears, so Atlanta is back in the Super Bowl. And they played very well, and the Bears tried to make a last-ditch effort, but it was too little, too late at the end of the game, and the Falcons would win that one, and the Bears will lose. So it's the Falcons versus the Chargers in the Super Bowl. We're going to see who's going to win that one, and I am also going to be scouting a bit. So you are going to be seeing players that I have scouted. So we will go down. So we need to scout. I already scouted a whole bunch of offensive linemen. So if I can get some of these guys up here. Maybe not a receiver. A tight end. A vertical threat out of Vanderbilt. Not bad. All right, that's all we can do. So this is the AFC. This is the Super Bowl, and it will be. We'll check out the yearly awards afterwards, and the Super Bowl champion will be. We are simming to see who will be your Super Bowl champion. It looks like the LA Chargers are going to win another Super Bowl. Are going to win their first Super Bowl. So that's interesting to see. I'm going to check out. Let's check out the stats on that one. As you got to go to the league schedule. 23-28. Let's see if the Falcons. Yep, they blew a 17-0 lead. A 17-0 first half lead, and the Falcons blow another lead in the Super Bowl. 420 yards, though. So, pretty impressive. But came up with 6 points at least, so at least they scored some points after choking. But a very tough loss for the Falcons, and they will head into the offseason. And we're going to check out the awards. So obviously, those numbers don't matter really. Yearly awards, let's see them. All right, so MVP is going to go to Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is in second. Sam Darnold is up there with a 6-10 record, so I like to see that. At least Sam Darnold had a decent year. Coach of the year went to Sean Payton. Any other notable names? Freddie Kitchens is also up there. Makes sense. Offensive player of the year for the AFC is going to go to Patrick Mahomes. Sam Darnold's up there at 3, ahead of Tom Brady. So Brady regressed a lot as he's down to an 88. Andrew Luck went up to a 92. And for the NFC, it's going to go to Russell Wilson. Matty Ice in second, only an 85. Mitchell Trubisky up there doesn't seem realistic. And Drew Brees all the way down to an 84 overall. Kyler Murray also up there with a 6-10 record. And Defensive Player of the Year for the NFC is going to go to Khalil Mack of the 12-4 Bears. Any other notable names? Nigel Bradham, haven't heard of his name in a while. Or Corey Litterin. And Mason Foster. For the AFC, it's going to go to Von Miller. So he's going to win it for the 5-11 Broncos. Darren Lee up there. And Miles Jack is up there at number 9. So he does not win it. So taking a look at the Offensive Rookie of the Year, it's going to go to Marquise Brown over N'Keal Harry. So we were so close to winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. And any other notable names? Josh Jacobs is up there. And not much after. Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to go to Ed Oliver Jr. of the 12-4 Bills, Josh Allen of the 6-10 Jaguars, and Ja'Kai Polite is up there. It was a player I wanted to get, and well, they caught him in real life, so I need to check out. I don't think I saw for NFC. So NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to go to Jelani Tavai, the 5-11 Lions. Nick Bosa up there. Devin White, Byron Murphy. So a lot of great defensive players in Dexter Lawrence. Offensive Rookie of the Year is going to go to Kyler Murray. Makes sense. Andy Isabella. They're building a nice squad down there in Arizona. And then, yeah, we didn't really need to see those awards. So we're going to head into the offseason. And first we have the re-sign period. A lot of players that we signed at the deadline are not on the team. So here are the players that are still. Nathan Peterman, I could offer him a new contract, which I'm going to do because he's a meme and he's the GOAT. So Nathan Peterman meme is going to get a nice contract from us, and he will accept. Tease Tabor, 69 overall. And we're not really going to sign much after that. We're going to head into the, what do I want to do? Okay. I want to check regression. See if there's any regression. So, Nick Foles is going down in regression, so obviously we're going to need a quarterback. Now, there are some quarterbacks I'm looking at in the draft. Other notable regression, I think Marquise Lee may have went down one. Looking at the defensively, we got no really big regression except for AJ Boye. Is that just for confidence? That's not good. He's regressing. Okay, we could probably get 1 or 2 more good years out of Boye before we have to really trade him. So that's not really that good. Calais Campbell. Did Campbell retire? That would be really bad. Okay, I don't want to quit. But did Calais Campbell retire? Alex Mack is retiring. Lorenzo Alexander, Andrew Whitworth, Marshall Yanda, Julian Edelman's retiring. Okay, so not bad. Wesley Woodyard, Adrian Peterson, John Sullivan. Calais Campbell will be retiring after 12 seasons. So that is a huge loss at the defensive tackle position. So now a big need for us is the defensive tackle. Joe Staley, William Hayes, Chad Henne, Larry Fitzgerald finally retires. Sad that he couldn't win a ring. Donald Penn, Antoine Bethea. And it looks like we don't see anything else. I guess Wesley Woodyard. Also, Dante Moncrief is gone. So, those are all the transactions. So, we're going to be heading into the... Just want to make sure there's no one that I really don't want. Richie James. I mean, he has speed and he has some good stats. If we really want him back, we can probably get a better player back in free agency. Other notable players, there isn't really much notable players here. Ramik Wilson kind of had a nice stretch for us. Chance Warmack, I mean, he was just signed. Grant Haley, 72 overall corner, doesn't really have the stats I really like. And not much. We don't really have that many big-time free agents, but we are heading into free agency. This is the big time offseason, and it is time to see what we build, what we get in the offseason. Let's see. We have $23 million in cap room. That should be going up only just because I'm going to make a big trade. And this is the offseason. So Kareem Hunt's a free agent. He could be someone we could sign. And we could definitely lowball. Apparently Kendall Fuller is also a free agent with no offers. That makes no sense, but okay. Eric Ebron is also a free agent. Don't need him. Mike Daniels. I mean, we could possibly sign him and move him to defensive tackle, but as a 31-year-old, I'd say no. Ryan Shazier is a free agent. Is he still injured? Okay, so he'll be back after this season, but it makes no sense. Nelson Aguilar, I mean, he's been a disappointment in real life. Logan Ryan, so we could bring in a big-time corner, but we already have A.J. Boye and Jalen Ramsey, so might not be the best decision. Derrick Henry, if we want to bring in that power back, we could definitely do it. Drew Brees, for 1 year, $25 million, that's a lot for someone who's going to basically retire. Blake Martinez, a solid middle linebacker. Brian Bulaga, we do need offensive line help, so Bulaga could be someone we go after. Ronald Darby, Mike Pouncey, we don't really need him. Mike Hilton could be someone we could sign as a cornerback. Jason Peters, for 1 year, I can see us definitely we could definitely sign him. Jordan Howard, a power back. I don't think teams are offering some players because of how much they want. Cody Whitehair could be someone we go after. Move him to like the left guard or something. Austin Eckler, an elusive back, nice solid player. Along with Jason Verrett is a free agent. Josh Gordon, he's okay at best. Clinton Dix, we don't really need him. I really like our safeties, or at least I kind of want to move on from Hughes possibly. Anthony Brown could be someone we can go after. Austin Blythe, we definitely would need him, and he would be a big-time offensive lineman. Carlos Dunlap, don't need him. Dez Bryant, don't need him. Devondre Campbell, don't need him. And we have Telvin Smith back, and he is on a big-time contract, but he is kind of worth it. We might be able to trade him, though. Harrison Buckner, don't need him. Trevor Williams, so a solid free agency class. So we're going to have to make some moves. So first things first, I want to look at some potential trades. So we're going to make some trades before we head into the offseason, before we head into free agency. And number one is Nick Foles. Nick Foles is getting paid too much money to be a bad quarterback. He has thrown too many interceptions, and he is regressing. So that contract is just not looking pretty right now, and we could definitely get some value. For a team that kind of needs a quarterback, one team is the Broncos. And Drew Lock, obviously, he has normal development, and we could possibly give the Broncos him. That could be realistic. Other teams, Cowboys, Dolphins, possibly. They want to build, but they have Josh Rosen, so it kind of doesn't make sense. Giants have Daniel Jones. The Lions, if they don't have Stafford, and they do, so two overpaid quarterbacks. Derek Carr of the Raiders. Doesn't make sense for the Raiders to get Nick Foles, or at least Nick Foles to go to the Raiders. Other notable names, there are the Saints, who have J.T. Barrett, so this might be the team that we might go with. So they do desperately need a quarterback. Steelers, I doubt they want. Yeah, they have Ben Roethlisberger. All right, and the Vikings, who have Kirk Cousins. So I think we're going to make a trade for possibly the Saints, a Saints pick. So realistically, I can see us wanting to try to get a second, maybe next year. Maybe we could pick up a first next season, which for Foles would be making a lot of sense. Let's see if this goes through, and it will. So we are picking up a first-round pick from the Saints next season. So Nick Foles is out of here. Devin Thornton, welcome to the stream. Could you play me? I'm currently doing an off season for my franchise, but I could definitely play with you. I can definitely play you next season, or at least afterwards. So, yeah. Sorry about that, but we are trading Nick Foles. In return, we're getting a first-round pick next season from the New Orleans Saints. We need picks are kind of important, or at least Nick Foles obviously is someone we could so this opens up though a quarterback position. So a quarterback is now a need for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm basically confirming we are taking a quarterback in the draft. Picking up a first-round pick next year is definitely going to help as well. Next, we are going to make another trade, and it's going to involve Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee has honestly made some big-time plays, but as a 28-year-old and with some big-time receivers in this draft class, it makes sense for us to trade. We could possibly get some big-time receivers, so getting something out of Marquise Lee would be important, and he is getting paid a bit, so if you want to make a splash in free agency. A lot of teams need him, so we're going to take a look at teams that could possibly need him. Bills could be a reasonable team, but they do have some nice receivers, so I don't think... Broncos, if they were contending. Browns doesn't make sense. Buccaneers doesn't really make sense. If the Cardinals could make a bit of sense. Chargers don't really make sense, really. Or at least, if they wanted to add a second receiver. And do they need them? They do. They are interested. So we are going to offer them. They do have the 32nd pick. So I'm going to ask if we can get a third-round pick next season. All right, we are back. And a first and a third-round pick for Marquise Lee makes sort of sense, and they are not going to do that. So is it possible to just get the first? It's going to take a bit. I wouldn't. Okay, we could give Jawan Taylor. He is young. He's kind of solid. We could possibly keep him for another year. We'll give up a third-round pick next season. So for the 32nd pick, could we do this? And it will go through. So Marquise Lee and a third-round pick next season is going to get us the Chargers' first-round pick, the Super Bowl champions, and a 32nd pick. So coming off of a Super Bowl, I guess Keenan Allen must have left or is injured. We get a first-round pick, a huge pickup for us. And now there's one more player I want to trade, and that is D.D. Westbrook. D.D. Westbrook is a young and speedy receiver. He is a deep threat. But like I said before, there's too much talent of receiver in this draft class that should be able to help out. I think honestly, D.D. Westbrook, we could see him on a different team. Now it would be probably for some other team that maybe the Chiefs add someone for Mahomes, but Sammy Watkins is there. It doesn't make sense. Colts, they have Devin Funchess. Cowboys could make sense. Dolphins, obviously, they're not trying to contend, and the receivers aren't bad either. The Falcons. You got maybe the Giants. Jets, Jets doesn't really make sense. Maybe the Lions. Packers, that's a good team. That's all right. So I don't think. Okay, so they have their first round pick. I think we're going to go after the first round pick next season and maybe pick up a third for this year, possibly. Could we do this? It's not going to go through. All right, can we pick up a third next season? So 1 and 3 next year, not going to go through. Maybe a 1 and a 4. I can give up a 5 for this year. So we'll basically move up with one of our 5th round picks. And I can add a... We'll also add some player. Let's look at middle linebacker. We'll give you Joe Giles Harris. And they're not interested in him either. So defensive tackle is a position of need for us. Next year, one for this year, is going to get us a first-round pick next season and a 4th-round pick this season. So this Jaguars team is looking very different than what it did just a few weeks ago. What's up, Octagonal Gaming? What have I missed? I'm going to make you a moderator, by the way. But what have you missed? You have basically missed a couple trades. We traded Nick Foles, Marquise Lee, and D.D. Westbrook for picks. And this is the team. We have kind of destructed this team, or this team is kind of destructed. However, we're going to try to construct this team into a big-time team and possibly a contender for year number 2. Picks. Thanks for the mod. No worries, Oct. All right, so we're going to go to the free agency. So apparently we didn't add any cap space. We actually, I guess, lost some. So this is the free agency. Kareem Hunt is pretty intriguing, but we do have Leonard Fournette. So, and I would have liked to get maybe, if there is a better backup running back, maybe a power back, since Leonard Fournette is more of a elusive back. There is I'd say more, maybe Gus Edwards, if he's any good. Doug Martin, definitely not. There's not much power backs. I mean, we could definitely low ball, maybe Jordan Howard or Derrick Henry, but those are 2 players. I don't want to get a immediate starter over Leonard Fournette, but maybe someone we can go to. So we could offer Gus Edwards. Wide receiver is another need, but there are some good receivers in the draft, such as Jerry Jeudy and some late round receivers. Tight ends, we don't really need one. Josh Oliver, we don't really need a back. We could use a backup, and Terrell Pryor is a free agent. Since Fournette is a power back, I say get a guy like Eckler, and he's a 3rd down back. If we want a power back, Gus could be the move. We could do Gus. Let me just quickly check what Leonard Fournette is. If he's a power back, or I'm pretty sure he's a speed back. Prior tight end, I had him and then moved him to tight end, and he was a beast. So Leonard Fournette is a power back. So we could use a speed back, and we could definitely go after someone like Eckler. So I think our first offer will be Eckler. And we are going to lowball him. I'd say more like maybe a 3-year deal. Let's go 2 years, $3 million, and then give him a signing bonus of 1.85. Let's see. 54 points. That is not a good offer, but he is getting no offers. So we could possibly boost this up to 3.5. And 63 points. That could be a good offer. That could accept. Chances are it won't. So maybe move this up a bit to maybe keep his bid low. Let's go with that one. If we don't get him, it's fine because there are some other elusive backs. Isaiah Crowell, 63 is good. All right, let's take a look at the receivers. Obviously, like I said before, we don't really need them. Or at least we don't, because I have some plans in the draft. Don't really want any of these fullbacks unless there's a GOAT, and then we can possibly sign him. Or actually, it was Tommy Bohannon, former New York Jets fullback. So I guess we can offer him, but we'll offer him afterwards. We need to spend our money wisely. So wide receiver, there are some good ones, but obviously remember we do have a decision to possibly add a good time receiver in the draft. Tajay Sharp could be someone we can add. Trent Taylor. Tight ends. I'd personally say Terrell Pryor. I liked using him when he was on the team. And he was in the N'Keal Harry trade. So if that's 80, yeah, get a slot receiver in the draft. I got my eye on a couple players. And Pryor, maybe that's a bit too low. But he's going to be a cheap, or actually, we'll make it up to 69 points. Because why not? If we can. I'm not sure if we will be able to. All right, 70 points, whatever. Offensive line is a big-time need for us. And there are some good ones. Jason Peters. This is intriguing because he hasn't retired yet. And we could possibly sign him. And for $10 million, though, I'd say more, maybe $5 million. And we wouldn't have any money left, which is not good. There's guys like Greg Robinson, former LA Ram or St. Louis Ram, and Detroit Lion. Lowballing Peters could be smart, maybe like $5 million. That seems reasonable. And it's only going to be for 1 year, so we could possibly get him on a cheap deal. Take all our cap away, yeah. So we need to be wise. Mike Iapati, no thank you. Center. We already have Brandon Linder, but we could move one of these guys to left guard. Connor McGovern or Govern. No. Ben Jones. Right guard. This Austin Blythe looks good, but he's going to take away all our cap. And like I said before, or what you said before, Jason, we would need to spend our money wisely. But here it is. We could also probably offer Brian Balaga a contract because he's 31, so I doubt he'll retire. Also, forgot to mention this, Calais Campbell retired. So we lost Calais Campbell. So defensive tackle is now a huge need. But Brian Balaga is sort of a good player. Brandon Shell is not. He wants a ton, but we have no cap. This is kind of bad. I'm going to check who's eating up all our cap. And who's getting overpaid? AJ Boye. Okay, let's sort by this. So AJ Boye is getting paid a lot. And he has 2 years remaining. And he is on his regression. But I will keep him. Telvin Smith is an interesting option because he is getting paid $12 million per year. And Telvin Smith, 29 years of age, 86 overall, but he didn't even play all season last year. So it doesn't make sense. And we did okay on defense, especially in the last 2 games, or at least in the Colts game. We did very good on defense. So I don't think we need Telvin Smith on this team, even though that would be killing our defense. it would also be better for the team. Yannick Ngakoue, obviously, we're going to keep him. He is a beast of a player. Leonard Fournette, he is only on one more year, so we kind of need to get the best out of him. Miles Jack, well worth it. He has gone up to a superstar, and he is getting paid and not a bad contract. Brandon Linder, I mean, I'd keep him. Josh Allen is obviously an outside linebacker. Geoff Swaim, we could possibly trade for maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick. Josh Lambo is getting paid a bit for whatever reason, so we might cut him. Brian, he's okay. He's a nice young player. J. Wilson, could trade him along with Cameron Robinson. So there are a couple players we can trade. So, first, wait, can we even trade Telvin Smith? I don't think we can. So we'll find a trade partner for Geoff Swaim. He was also our fullback for a bit. So let's find a team that's kind of interested. And the Cowboys. I don't think they really need a tight end. Or they actually do. That might make sense. Dolphins doesn't make sense at all since they're tanking. Any other players? There are Packers. Patriots, I don't think they really need a tight end. Or actually, they do. So maybe Geoff Swaim might be better off in New England. Oakland, let's see if Oakland... Okay, so Oakland might need I think, honestly, New England might make more sense. So we're going to trade them to the Pats. I can't get a 3, but if I can get, like, maybe a 4 next year, or actually a 4 this year would make me pretty happy. So Geoff Swaim for a 4th round pick. Let's see what happens, and we are going to be able to make it. New England would make Swaim a Pro Bowler. Tom Brady makes anyone a Pro Bowler. Kind of curious. I don't think Brady retired. Indeed. So Brady didn't retire, so we need to destroy him in the playoffs. Chargers also blew a lead in the Super Bowl, if you were wondering. Classic Falcons. But I can't make much jokes since Michigan State did lose last night. And we don't make any jokes about that. Other trades, Cam Robinson doesn't make him Pro Bowlers. Coach Bill Belichick does. Yeah. So Raiders, okay, we're going to go by team like I did. So Colt Miller, doesn't make sense for Robinson to join. Maybe the Rams, not the Ravens. So I think the Rams might be most realistic. And I can see us, could we possibly get a 3rd next year for Robinson? Or even, could we get a 3rd this year? Because this draft class is loaded. And we are, okay. So Cam Robinson for a 3rd round pick. This is good. This is good value for Cam Robinson. And obviously getting a left tackle to build around for this rebuild. Or a pick is nice to get, as there is a certain left tackle that's in this draft class that I do want to try to get, and we could possibly trade up to get him. So Josh Lambo, wouldn't make sense to trade him. Jags making so many moves. I mean, we have to cut some corners and get some picks. So Wilson, honestly, if he doesn't have any value, he is a 69 overall, so best player on the team. Okay. So I think, honestly, we could just get him for depth. I'll just trade him for a 6 next year. It's not even going to go through. Okay, so 7's not going to go through. So we can't get a pick for him. Could we get, like, maybe some depth? 92 speed. Maybe, like, a return man. I don't know. Who's some good returners in the NFL? Oh, you know what? He's still in the Lions. 93 speed. All right. We're not going to be... Oh, we can't get Agnew. Thought it would work. You know what? We'll pick... We'll try. Why not? From all that we've gotten, we'll also be shedding some contract. Oh, we don't have a 6 or 5 or 7 next year. Oof. I don't want to give up too much for Agnew because it really doesn't make sense. But if I give up someone who's another player that's like overpaid or should not be getting paid as much as he should. Smoot. DJ Chark, I'm going to keep. He's pretty good. I think we're going to offer Smoot. We'll pick up Agnew. All right, so Jamal Agnew, he's going to be a return man on this team. So we get a nice kick returner or a special teams player. I'm going to turn on my light in my room, so I will be right back. Rip Smoot, R&P left to chat. Agnew going to be... Yeah, Agnew will be a good return man. Maybe we can get a couple wins because of his returns. Do we have more cap? That's the huge question. And I don't think we gain that much. Yeah, we have 13 mil. Okay, Terrell Pryor. Okay, let's take a look at the players we've negotiated with. So it's Austin Eckler. So 2 solid players. Smoot went to Illinois. Oof. All right. So we're going to offer... Okay, if we can get Jason Peters on a very cheap contract, he might not accept. I doubt he will. And we are not giving him a $30 million bonus. We'll give him maybe $1 million. So maybe 5.2. How much does that give us? I mean, if it doesn't go through, it's no big deal. Left guard, just no. 34 mil, yes. For Jason Peters, that is totally worth it. Like 4 years ago. Brian Bulaga, I'd say 1 year. And he is not worth like 7 mil. 84 obviously is good, but I do want to save some money, and well, we need protection for whatever quarterback we go with either Tua Tagovailoa, Jake Fromm. Who else is in this class? We could maybe even throw a curveball with Jalen Hurts. But we're gonna go, let's say maybe 1.85. Josh, welcome to the stream. All right, so Brian Bulaga, 15 points. That is a terrible offer, so he does not like that. We could... Jalen Hurts would be fun. He would be. Maybe we can put him at running back. All right, so Brian Bulaga is not going to want to go here, which is fine. Okay, yeah, 16 points. He's probably not going to be offered anything. We'll give him one last contract, one last ditch effort to try to bring him in. 20 points, okay. We'll keep the offer if he accepts. Then, cool. It's at my grandma's for a while. Nice. Yeah, so Jalen Hurts could be fun. Vic Beasley. Don't know if R&P really likes him. It's kind of been a bust, in my opinion. Robert, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name. And we don't really need... Or actually, we probably need a left end. There isn't really much. Emmanuel Agba. Not much there. Defensive tackle we do need. Is there any big-time players? Malik Collins. What else is there? Corey Peters. Christian Covington. Shelby Harris. Andrew Billings. Steve McClendon. He's a nice run stopper, so maybe we can get some depth at the defensive tackle position. Right end, there's Mike Daniels, but I've said this before. Kemdichi. That's how you say it? All right, thank you, Ak. Mike Daniels, though, for that contract, and he's also going to start regressing, even though Ziggy Ansah, if he goes up as a defensive tackle, we could offer him. Left outside linebacker, I mean, we have Josh Allen, Shane Ray. Daniels is so injury prone, gets hurt every week. All right, we will not go after him. Middle linebacker, there is Ryan Shazier. Ziggy Ansah is cool. Darren Lee could be a nice contract. If we're getting out of that Telvin Smith deal, which, how long is he injured? He has 2 weeks left. So we could offer Darren Lee. I wouldn't mind him, considering this team honestly could use a right outside linebacker, but we might take one in the draft. Who knows? Corner depth also. Get Darren Lee, perfect Telvin replacement with that speed. All right, we'll give Darren Lee an offer. He's also a former New York Jet, and he also went to the Pro Bowl, so love Darren Lee out of OSU. All right, $2 million. All right, $6 million, 53 points. Let's see. Kind of excited when we drafted him, but honestly, I was a bit disappointed because I wanted Paxton Lynch. And I don't really... I mean, I was wrong then, kind of. Darren Lee didn't really turn out. I would love to get Nick Perry if he was younger because of his last name. Corner, I was thinking about getting Jason Verrett, and we could have a stacked corner. We would have a very nice corner, some really good corners. But, I mean, we have no money, so maybe someone like, not Jonathan Joseph, that man's going to get beat. Maybe like P.J. Williams for a season. Free safety, Cody Davis, former Jacksonville Jaguar. Eric Murray. Free safety, we do have Mike Hughes, though, which I could move on from. Strong safety, there's Clinton Dix. Not much there either. So, I think that'll do it. Have to go, should be back soon. All right, see you later, Ak. So Jason Peters could be offered. Think we're going to sim the week, see what happens, and see who we get. If we get anyone, I would be honestly surprised because we have given so many lowball offers. We do have some responses. We get Austin Eckler. So Eckler will be either the starting running back or the backup to Leonard Fournette. Gardner Minshew, if he was just a bit better, he could be the franchise quarterback, but obviously he is only a 60 overall. So scouting, I'm going to catch up on scouting, but we do get Eckler, and I'm hoping we have some more cap room to be able to make a trade or to be able to make another signing. Quarterback, we do need. Offensive line, we desperately need. We also need defensive tackles, so I need to start scouting some of those. But I think I'll scout left ends this week. And then we'll scout a defensive tackle, maybe get one or... All right, let's see. Free agency, we have no money. Brian Bulaga has gotten offers. We're going to withdraw that offer. And now we could possibly get Darren Lee. Okay, Jason Peters. I mean, 1 year, maybe improve that with $5.5 million deal. We can kind of splurge on a couple more free agents. Terrell Pryor, 5.1 for, I think it's 2 years. And Darren Lee, this kind of would be the big fish of free agency. If we can't get him, no worries. Okay, so we got to make that signing bonus a bit bigger. 3.4. All right, we are at 99 points. We are 3 points away. Let's see what happens. 1.67. And we are 1 point away, so we should be able to pick up Darren Lee if he does want to come to Jacksonville. $11 million over 2 seasons. Terrell Pryor and then Jason Peters are the 3. We're going to upgrade because there are some players. Apparently, Jamal Agnew has 2 upgrade points. So the kick returner does get some. And I'm also going to go to my coach and spend some of this coach XP that I got. Expert scouting I need. And what else? Offensive line would be helpful for right now. Defensive line. Boom. So we might have a better chance of getting Jason Peters. So let's head to the next week. Off-season week 3. And big-time signings. Jason Peters is coming to Jacksonville, but Darren Lee decides to snake us and join some other team. But we get Jason Peters and a big-time left tackle. That's something I'm pretty happy about. And even if we didn't get Darren Lee, I mean, if we can't get Andrew Thomas in the draft, because there could be a chance. We have the 9th pick. We have 9th, 10th, 12th, and 31st, and the 32nd pick. So, okay, we need to find. We don't need halfback anymore, but we do need to get some defensive end scouting. Or I don't think we really need to scout defensive ends. Now we need to scout defensive tackles. Okay, Jordan Elliott. He's a pretty good defensive tackle out of Missouri. Power rusher, 22 years of age. Not a good combine, though. And he's only a mid-4th. He's projected talent. He's a 3rd rounder, so we could get him. But I doubt it. Free agents. We have $7 million, so we can still maybe splurge. Look at some others. Kendall Fuller, still a free agent. Maybe we could pick up a corner like I wanted to before. C.J. Anderson, Alex Collins, Demarius Thomas, Josh Doxson. I mean, we could pick up a backup receiver. We still have some negotiations, I think. I think Terrell Pryor is still undecided. Terrell Pryor just wants to take his time. Okay, so no big offensive lineman. Vic Beasley. Think else. Randy Gregory isn't that great, honestly. Guess Ziggy Ansah signed somewhere else. Maybe we can offer Andrew Billings. We'll offer. We could go after someone like Vic Beasley. Terrell Suggs could be someone we go after. Pernell McPhee. I believe he got hurt today. He officially passed the hour mark. Josh Martin, former Jet. Is in free agency. David Bass was also a New York Jet. We could go with Vic Beasley and possibly move him to outside linebacker. I don't see why not. 87 speed is definitely an outside linebacker. And maybe give him a 1 year, but a bigger signing bonus. Maybe we can do that. For Vic Beasley, I think that works. And then we wanted a corner. Maybe we can sign someone like Jason Verrett. Someone down here, maybe like Kent Crawley, Jonathan Jones. 5'10", so he should be the slot corner, and he has no zone. I'd like someone more balanced. Quentin Dunbar is pretty decent. Trey Waynes probably won't have, yeah. Jason Verrett might be the best option for what we're looking for. Does he even want this offer? All right, we'll offer him that. If we get Jason Verrett, this team, I won't be mad at the free agency. I'm not mad at free agency right now because we have made some bold moves, especially in trades. So we're going to advance to the next week, and we're going to get Terrell Pryor on the team. So the NFL draft is next week. It is only 8 minutes. So 5-7. So an hour in, we have made it to the draft. It's time to make a move. Or actually, we're going to put Jonah Smith at the starter. So we have 1 more week to scout. Offensive line, obviously, is a big need. Defensively, we need a big-time corner. So I guess Jason Verrett decided to not sign with us, which is kind of disappointing, but we might be able to have more cap room at the beginning. So we could trade up with some of our players. So big need, obviously, is defensive tackle. I also wanted to check out free safety if we do need. Yeah, we still need some scouting for that. And then strong safety, there is Grant Delpit, who I am kind of interested in. Could be the next Jamal Adams. So some corners. Right outside linebacker might be another position of need. Middle linebacker. Saw David Woodward. Could be someone good. Monty Rice. We have like 1 more. Can we get? Okay, so we find a decent, and then I guess we'll use the last one on a fullback. So we'll see. Boom. Has B+ trucking. Maybe we go after him. Who knows? So let's sim to the NFL draft. So next week. So we will be at the NFL draft. All right, so let's take a look at free agency or the recap. So Jason Verrett decided not to sign anywhere. Kind of disappointing. Other players. So these are all the players, Steve. So there were a couple players we could offer when Gus Edwards was someone we were going to offer. Connor said that I should go to your house on Saturday to watch the Michigan and Michigan State game and brag around the house when Michigan wins. I mean, you could do that, Josh. Possibly. All right, so Vic Beasley. So our signings, Jason Peters, Austin Eckler, and Terrell Pryor. So that's 3 pretty good players. And looking at the players who signed, Kareem Hunt went to the Colts. That's going to be a nice running back combo. Kendall Fuller is going to go to the Dolphins, so the Dolphins making a big move. Eric Ebron's going to the Houston Texans. Mike Daniels is going to Tampa Bay. Ryan Shazier to the Redskins. That's not a good sign for Ryan Shazier. Nelson Aguilar going to Houston. Pair up with DeAndre Hopkins. Logan Ryan to Washington. Derrick Henry to the Bills. Blake Martinez to the Browns. So that's a solid signing for the Browns. Brian Bulaga is going to the Dolphins. Ronald Darby's going to the Bills. Mike Pouncey's going to the Dolphins as well. So the Dolphins got some pretty good free agents. Mike Hilton's going to the Colts. He's going back to the Colts, I think. But Colonel Sanders on your team for your team. I mean, if you want to make up for the next draft class, you are more than welcome to. Cody Whitehair signed with the Cardinals. Josh Gordon's going to the Bills. And any other notable names? Austin Blythe going to the Ravens. Kenny Brown to the Giants. Devontae Campbell to the Bills, along with Des Bryant. Charles Clay and Dante Fowler Jr. is going to the New York Jets. So interesting to see Dante Fowler Jr. We made some moves. He can give your team chicken when they win. That would be funny. What position would he play? That would be interesting to find out. Anthony Sherman's also going to the Jets along with Breon Body Calhoun. And Darren Lee's going to the Bears. So I guess the Bears we had a better offer than the Bears. What? Okay, so he just doesn't want to play for the Jags. But it's okay. Nick Perry's going to the Buccaneers. Rest of free agency. Jarrell Adai. And it looks like not much others. Martavis Bryant's somewhat decent. And that is your free agency. So, looking back at the team. It's a huge NFL draft. Jason Peters obviously is a big-time signing. Austin Eckler. So 2 big signings on the offense. Defensively, or we made all signings on the offense. Defensively, this linebacker core looks really good. Telvin Smith might be traded though, but didn't the Jets lose today? No, they won today. So I'm very happy about that. So we are also 7 subs away from 200. But we're going to start the NFL. Any other things? Show my picks. So these are my picks. The 9th pick, we have 9, 10, 12, 31, and 32 in the first round. So that could get us a big-time player. But we could move up with Telvin Smith. Maybe get someone big for him. So in the first round, the Miami Dolphins have the first pick in the draft. And obviously, they need a quarterback. And that's also what we need. But let's see who they're going to take here with the first pick. It's going to be Jake Fromm from Georgia. Welcome to the Stream Lion Pro. We are currently in the offseason of the Jaguars franchise. If you want, I can give you a quick. Love this series. I appreciate your support, Lion. But so far this offseason, we have made 3 big moves in free agency. We have literally no cap, or we had no cap in the offseason, but we got Austin Eckler and Jason Peters and Terrell Pryor on the offense. We didn't make any big-time defensive moves. We did also trade Nick Foles, Marquise Lee, and we traded D.D. Westbrook on the offense, and also Geoff Swaim, who is the GOAT fullback. Defensively, we did trade a couple defensive tackles, and Calais Campbell did retire, so that is also a huge loss. But Telvin Smith, I have interest in trading him because he is getting paid so much, and we didn't even play with him at all last season. So trading up for possibly a pick doesn't... No Calais indeed. No more Calais Campbell. And then Jake Fromm's going to the Miami Dolphins. So, I think it makes sense to trade Telvin Smith. It is going to be sad seeing him go. But we are going to be able to clear a lot of cap space. And that's what I want to do. And we could also possibly get some value out of him as in a player. As $12 million is not what I want to pay. Ben, you should do a Dr. Mario video or stream and use the thumbnail I made yesterday. I might not do that. I don't even have a Dr. Mario game. Trade Smith and get Chase Young. Get Chase Young for a new Calais. Ooh. That could be interesting. Here's the question. Do the Steelers, obviously, do they need... He's like a right end or something. Cameron Hayward, Steven Tuitt. They are not going to take... If they take Chase Young, then this game is rigged. And they have the second pick. Okay, so Telvin Smith. Okay, so who has the third pick? I can't remember. I need to check. Third pick belongs to the Raiders. I can see the Raiders taking him. Let's play Dr. Mario World. Alright, so the Raiders. I think we might make a trade with the Raiders. Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, so they're going to take him. Okay, so Telvin Smith makes a lot of Smith. I messed that up. Okay. Telvin Smith makes a lot of sense here as a right outside linebacker. Yeah, we're not going to do a Dr. Mario stream right now. This is Madden time. But Telvin Smith, 29 years of age, he's getting paid a lot to be an 86 overall and sit out for the entire year due to injury. And even though that's not his fault, we are going to be able to pick up a pick from the Oakland Raiders. And even maybe another player, maybe someone like Gabe Jackson. Gabe Jackson's overpaid. Maurice Hurst. Maybe a deep middle linebacker, Brandon Marshall. Tier Whitehead doesn't make sense. Corners, maybe we can bring in Garyon Conley, but doesn't make sense. Telvin Smith, maybe even we can get more picks, so maybe like the Raiders' second next year. This could be a huge, and they're not going to accept. So maybe a third for next year. We need to get this trade if we want to get Chase Young, and we could move up in the draft. Even though, okay, so maybe a first straight up for Telvin Smith, not going to go through. So there is still some wiggle room to try to get ourselves this pick. Get Young and then try to get Andrew Thomas. We could definitely get Andrew Thomas. We have so many picks. I'd say, honestly, we can go with a... I don't really want to trade a 4. I don't want to trade picks next year. So maybe like a 5 this year. See how well that goes. Not bad. Maybe let's go with a late 4. Not gonna go either. So we could trade a player. I don't really mind. Jason Peters, we did sign. Doesn't make sense for us to trade him. Left guard, they don't probably want him. Tight end, we do have a couple. And Josh Oliver, I mean, he's the odd man out, and we could definitely sign someone in free agency. You're 7 subs away from 200. The road to 200 is on. 7 away. We are literally... But a first and a third, maybe for next year, maybe even this year. Could we get a third this year? That's the question. That could be interesting. Road to 200, indeed, Jameson. Welcome to the stream. And we're not going to be able to do it. So possibly we could hit 200s in the night. So a third round pick next year, possibly. And we're not going to be able to do it. So maybe a 4. Not going to go. We want to get as much value as possible in this trade. Maybe a 5. Not going to go through. Come on. Give us a 6. Come on. Give us a 6. Get a 6 this year and a 4 next. Probably not going to go through considering... Okay, can I get a 7 for next year? Not going to go through. Can we even do it? Oh, we don't even have enough value for that. All right, we can possibly... And then maybe trade... Do we have any more expensive contracts or contracts I don't really like? My Qs we want to keep. Borders. Do a 2-hour stream of you watching. This game is rigged. I mean, this is a lot of value. This is a big time pick, but I think a 5 should do it. So, Telvin... And it's going to go through. Telvin Smith, Josh Oliver, and a 5th round pick this year is going to get us the 3rd overall pick in this draft. A huge trade for us. Telvin Smith, great player, but he's overpaid. That was too much. It was a lot, but it's going to be worth it. If we're getting someone like Chase Young, then it is definitely worth it. So I think it's a lot, and Josh Oliver is young, but it is definitely worth it. So, players that the Steelers do not take, either Andrew Thomas. Yeah, Telvin Smith is getting old. He's going to start regressing. Okay, so here comes the second pick with your second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Chase Young. Oh my goodness. The Pittsburgh Steelers have shocked the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with their trade up, instead of going with Pittsburgh, they're going to trade with, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get Chase Young out of Ohio State. This is a shocker. So now this is a big time decision for us. We now have just lost, obviously we just lost Telvin Smith for that. Jake, welcome to the stream. My friend, well, get Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas seems like the reasonable pick here. We could move back just a bit. Could make some sense. But defensive tackle is a big time move. This is a big pick for this team. You got guys like Justin Herbert on the board. Tua Tagovailoa. that guy. We're not picking him. Grant Delpit is on the board. He is a very good safety. And the thing is Mike Hughes, we could possibly trade him for a pick. Now, there's also Jerry Jeudy, who could be a big-time, a future Hall of Famer. You got Andrew Thomas, who obviously he has the talent of a mid-second rounder, but he is a great offensive lineman. DeAndre Swift, someone tried promoting their garbage at... I almost said that word. On how to make a Lego poltergeist. Oh. Okay, just wanted to stop by and say hi. All right, see you later, Jake. Thank you so much for stopping by. 9th pick, get Derek Brown. We could definitely go with Derek Brown, 9th pick. I think here we go Grant Delpit. This could be a really bad decision because I have already made a bad decision to trade for the Steelers or trade for the Raiders pick. So it's either, and I was thinking about this all day because we have either Delpit or Thomas. Both of them, I don't see us getting any of them at 9 or 10. I almost did. Your line needs help. That's a big time move. All right. With the 3rd pick in your 2020 NFL Draft, your Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. 71 overall hidden development. I will take it, even though he is ranked number 49 in true talent or true value. He is a beast, and he should be a big-time offensive lineman. Great pick. And I break that pick an A. So Mike Hughes... Last year, the offensive line sucked. Nick Foles got sacked way too many times, and now the Minnesota Vikings have the 4th pick in the draft, and with the 4th pick, let's go Andrew Thomas. Welcome to the Jags. So now the question is he the Jason Peters replacement on this offensive line? Where does he slide? So with the 4th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your Minnesota Vikings select A.J. Epenesa, right end out of Iowa. Put Jason at right guard. That could make sense. So our offensive line obviously is trash. Left guard and right guard is obviously holes, and I'm hoping to maybe address those also in later in the draft. But this offensive line is bad. So the Broncos are now on the clock, and they could use maybe. And with the 5th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your Denver Broncos select Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. So we're not going to be able to land Jerry Jeudy, a player that I had my eyes on since the beginning of the year. We are not going to be able to get Jerry Jeudy. So Jerry Jeudy's going to Denver. That makes a lot of sense. This offense, I believe we traded Nick Foles to them, if I'm not mistaken. Because I did trade Nick Foles. If you didn't notice, I'm pretty sure you did. Oh no, they signed Teddy Bridgewater. They got Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, welcome to Denver, Jerry Jeudy. And now it is the 6th pick for the Washington Redskins. And with their pick, the Washington Redskins select Shane Lemieux out of Oregon. That was another player I had my eyes on, and now Detroit's on the board. And Grant Delpit is still on the board. This could be a huge time trade up. And maybe even getting Derek Brown or Tyler Byed. So talk about a draft so far. We've seen some surprises. So with the 7th pick, the Detroit Lions select Grant Delpit. Lion, you called it. And Grant Delpit's going to the Detroit Lions. It's been 17 days and I still can't upload the Kermit Friends video. That's not good. But Grant Delpit's going to Detroit, a player that we had our eye on and I really wanted, is going to the Detroit Lions. So Mike Hughes might have to stick with our free safety, but as a free safety, he's only 5'10". He's more of a slot cornerback. So I think this team needs a free safety, and there wasn't really that much other safeties I liked on the board. But with the 8th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your San Francisco 49ers are selecting Derek Brown. So the Jaguars are getting screwed so far this draft. So now is the decision. So now Derek Brown, the replacement for Calais Campbell, originally Chase Young, and then turned into Derek Brown, is now who else could be the replacement for this Jacksonville Jaguars team? Personally, I say we also address another offensive lineman, or we can go with Isaiah Simmons. That would be a very good player. And I think, honestly, we could go with him. He had a great combine. Could be a great player to build around. Get Isaiah. But we do have the next pick, so we'll go with Isaiah here. Unless there's someone... So any other players I would really want to go with? Corner, we don't need. Running back, don't need. Left end, there is Mike Dana, so we could go with Mike Dana. So we're going with... So with the 9th pick in your 2020 NFL Draft, your Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting Isaiah Simmons, right outside linebacker, Clemson. 75 overall, hidden development. That's what I'm talking about, man. So we get the replacement for Telvin Smith. So instead of Calais Campbell, we're going to get an upgrade. We're going to get an upgrade for Telvin Smith. 6'4", 83 hit power. This man looks really good. And he should be able to develop into a big-time outside linebacker. And now we have the 10th pick. And here we have this Bayadez. Is the best center here. It's 5:48 and it's already dark outside. Yeah, winter is coming, boys. So there's that. What else? There was another player. Mike Dana, this would be a huge reach. So I think what I should do here I mean, I don't really like anyone else besides. I guess we have to go with Tyler Baez. Yeah. He adds offensive line, and we could always move Brandon Linder to like left guard or something, like we did in the Jets rebuild video that I did. Which I need to start doing more rebuilds. That was actually really fun. In a few weeks, it's going to be 4 in the dark and dark out. That's true. Michigan gets like that. But with the 10th pick, with the 10th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting Tyler Baez, center, Wisconsin, 74 overall, hidden development, 21 in true talent, but a good offensive lineman. Obviously, the pass block we might have to work on, but this is a plug-and-play player. Immediately, we're getting some nice picks in the first round, and now it is the New York Jets. And if anything, please, Jets, do not mess up. Do not mess up this pick. They have done so many bad picks in the past, and even though I'm going against them, all right, with the 11th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select. You've got to be kidding me. They go with Nick Cole. Nick Cole out of Auburn, a huge surprise. Do Mario Sunshine during Christmas break as Sunshine as is, because I could do that, but that would be probably Christmas break, maybe. But so they're gonna disappoint New York. So New York is disappointed, or at least I would. So as a Jets fan, that is not a good pick for them, but they are my opponent, and I guess we don't want them to succeed in here. So, the 12th pick, this is a big-time pick, as now there isn't too much. There is Justin Herbert. There is DeAndre Swift, who's still on the board, who is a great running back and could be someone. Maybe we trade someone like Leonard Fournette. We take best available here. Christian Fulton, a slot corner, but we have one. Halfback still. Power back. This could make sense. Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, he has a great potential. Go with a wide receiver. I don't really want to go with a wide receiver here. I think, honestly, I might go with DeAndre Swift. He looks like a beast. And I don't know what else there is that I could go with here. Like, obviously, I want Jonathan Taylor because he could be the replacement for Leonard Fournette. And this would obviously kick Leonard Fournette out of, out of Jacksonville. Trade Eckler or trade down. We could trade down. Maybe pick up a player for the 12th pick. That could make some sense. Maybe pick up a defensive tackle. We need a replacement. Geno Atkins. What else? Sheldon Richardson. I don't really want to go with him. Maybe someone. What's someone good on the board? DeForest Buckner could be big. Quinton Williams. I don't really want to trade Eckler though. It doesn't make sense to trade him since we just got him in free agency. It would make more sense if we traded Leonard Fournette, which as much as that pains me to do, it might need to happen. Get Snacks Harrison for the 12th pick. That doesn't make sense. We would be overpaying dramatically. Oh, I accidentally drafted DeAndre Swift. Whoops. So, with the 12th pick, or the 13th pick, I believe, in the NFL draft, Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting DeAndre Swift out of Georgia. So, hidden development, Andrew Thomas and his teammate DeAndre Swift is going to Jacksonville. An 82 overall running back. That is the best player in the draft. And we got him at number 12. A huge steal. So now the question is, who do we trade? That is the question, as now I think we want to focus more on quarterback, obviously, but offensive line, we still have that offensive line help. We should have a better offensive line next season. Defensively, I mean, we got a right outside linebacker. We still need a defensive tackle and a free safety. Maybe we go after a free safety with one of our picks. Maybe like someone like Earl Thomas.
Perry.
All right. So, with the 13th pick in your 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be selecting Prince Tega out of Auburn. I probably mispronounced that name, but he is going to be a nice player. Get Tua or Donna. I'd rather get Donna than Tua, and I have my eyes on a different quarterback. With the 14th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers are selecting Jalen Reagor, wide receiver of TCU. That's kind of a bad pick, but if he has the development, the Buccaneers obviously made a bad pick. And this was a bad pick as well, I feel, for the Panthers. I feel like there are so many more holes on that team. With the 15th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Christian Fulton. So, out of LSU. So, he's going to go to LSU, or he's going to be going to Tennessee, excuse me. So, Tennessee gets a big-time pick there. I like that pick for them. With the 16th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Marvin Wilson, defensive tackle out of Florida State. That's an okay pick as well. Depending on how the developments are, these guys could be really good development. With the 17th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Levi Onu. I'm not even going to pronounce that name. I'm kind of scared since you said that. Maybe Mike Dana goes pretty soon, but I doubt it. With the 18th pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Bryce Hall, cornerback out of Virginia. That's not a bad pick. Then Marcus Peters' replacement, I guess, a couple of years late. I believe also they lost Kendall Fuller in free agency, if I'm not mistaken. So getting a nice corner in Bryce Hall should be pretty good to building a nice team around Patrick Mahomes. With the 19th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select C.J. Henderson. Oh no! They make a huge blunder of a pick and pick C.J. Henderson out of Florida. So that's not a good pick. That's not what you want to get. With the 20th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Julian Okwara out of Notre Dame. So a defensive end goes off the board. Do we trade up? Do we trade back up to the first round? Or with the Cowboys? I don't think the Cowboys will take them. With the 21st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your Dallas Cowboys select. I got scared for a moment, but it's Laviska Shenault out of Colorado. So we're missing out on some receivers, But there are still some gems late in the draft that I have found. And with the 22nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Shaquille Quarterman out of Miami. So a middle linebacker for this team, a Dante Hightower replacement, I guess, or the next Dante Hightower. Browns get Donna, my guess. I'm going to risk it with the 23rd pick of the 2020 NFL Draft. The Cleveland Browns select Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina. So I think now is the best time for us to trade up. I think trading up for Donna is not a bad decision. And we could definitely... Packers... Donna could be a steal indeed. How close would this be? Okay, a first would do it, but I don't want to do a first. I could trade someone. Do we have any depth players that we don't really need on this team? Left guard, not a position. Defensive tackle. Any of these guys interested? Where's the Lions? They already picked someone. I forget who they picked. I think we might trade a 4. So a first and a 4 could get us the 24th pick. It's not going to go through, so maybe we're not going to get that one. What about a right tackle? Jawan Taylor, he's 22 years old. He's a 73 overall, and they are interested. So I think, honestly, if we can pick up a 3rd, we're not going to be able to do it. So maybe a 2nd. Could we get a 2nd next year? Oh, we can't. Maybe a 3rd and a 5. We're not going to be able to happen. Maybe a late round pick next year. And it's going to go through. We may have overpaid by a lot and trade Jawan Taylor, who's a young right tackle. But there are some other offensive linemen we can do. And the 31st pick is not that bad. Is obviously giving that up. I believe that was the Falcons' first round pick that we traded. And I think we traded D.D. Westbrook for it. Have you tried Terry yet? I have not. It was either D.D. Westbrook or Marquise Lee that we traded it for. And then Jawan Taylor. For the 24th pick in the 3rd round, a 3rd and a 6th next year is not bad at all. It's great value for next year's draft, and we have a 69 overall offense. So, the 24th pick, Mike Donna. We could pull off this up. We could pull off some. Actually, no, we're going. And with the 24th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mike Dana, left end, Michigan. So we get a Michigan player on this team, and he's a 70 overall. However, he has hidden development, so I don't mind that at all. Even though it's a 70 overall, this team is going to be young, and we're going to be able to develop. That's our goal for next year. If we don't make playoffs, it's fine. This defense, we have built a nice defense of young talent. This draft, there have been some things that we have not been able to get away with, but welcome to the Jaguars. And with the 25th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Tristan Wirfs, left guard out of Iowa. So that is not a good pick. That is a whiff. And with the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Lucas Niang, right tackle out of TCU. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if I want to go offensive line in round number 1. Maybe, is there any other offensive lineman that's pretty good? There is this one that I kind of am interested in. I think, honestly, though, I don't want to make the wrong pick here. Natane Muti. When is Tua going? Oh, whoops. I didn't want to do that. Whoops. But when is Tua Tagovailoa going? When is Justin Herbert going? When is Joe Burrow and Jordan Love going? When are they all going in this draft? Does Tua go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but with the 27th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select, or the Baltimore Ravens select, excuse me, Kenny Willekes, left end out of Michigan State. Now, obviously, he's a Michigan State Spartan, but that is not a good pick, Baltimore. Why do I suck at Asphalt 9? Not sure. Top 4 QBs on the board. I think there's only been one quarterback that has gone off the board, and that has been Jake Fromm. And with the 28th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, this could be, honestly, I think I traded Foles to the Saints. I think that was the team. But with the 28th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Trayvon Diggs, cornerback out of Alabama. So they do not go with a quarterback, and they're going to stick, I believe they have Nick Foles. So they're going to stick with Foles. And with the 29th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Trey Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson. And Dolphins are winning 10-0 to the Colts in real life. Interesting. They're on a one-game winning streak, which don't need to talk about. With the 30th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Tyler Johnson, wide receiver out of Minnesota. That makes sense. After going to the AFC Championship, you're just adding a nice receiver out of Minnesota. And with the 31st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Tylan Wallace, wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. So the Jaguars have a chance to make a bold move here. But who do you go with? Now, obviously, I would love to bolster this offensive line. Get Tua. I have my eye on another quarterback. Parker Braun. I think we go with one of these two offensive linemen here. The question is, I feel Natane Muti might be the better player all around. But I don't know if Damian Lewis has the better development. He has the better stats, it looks like. I think we're going to go with Natane Muti. This could be a really bad pick, though. Let's look at some of our other options. Right tackle, I mean, there's some decent options, I guess. Defensive end, we don't need anymore. Defensive tackle, we do need. But there is a good one in third round, and we just think we might have to trade for a defensive tackle, maybe. Left outside linebacker, we don't really need. Corner, I mean, we would need depth, but there are some corners in free agency. Mark Winsdor might be the player we go with for a free safety. Perry wants to hide how the Jets lost to the Dolphins. That's true. I don't know who we go with. I think, honestly, we're going to go with... Okay, who should we go with? Should we go with Natane or should we go with Damian? Should we go with? Who do you think will be the better player? Who do we go with here? That's the question. Damian? He has the power. He had the worst combine, though. This might be a... But you know what? It's fine. All right. With the 32nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Damian Lewis, right guard out of LSU, so a 74 overall, normal development. I thought it was going to be a 65 normal, to be honest. I thought Madden was going to troll us. But Damian Lewis... think Perry died. Never mind. Damian Lewis, though, honestly, his ratings, they're not bad. They're not good either. I will take this pick. Definitely. So we move into the second round, and this draft has been huge for the Jaguars. We have made some stellar picks. This offensive line has turned into a very nice this has turned into a huge O-line. And from 0 to 100, we have the defense. We got Calais Campbell and Telvin Smith's replacement. We just need a defensive tackle. We still need a quarterback. We still need some receivers. We got a huge running back. And a halfback like Leonard Fournette, we could be able to do. With the first pick in the second round, the Miami Dolphins select J.K. Dobbins, halfback out of Ohio State. That's pretty good. So Jake Fromm and J.K. Dobbins, welcome to your Miami Dolphins. That is a very nice pick for the Dolphins. There are some really good running backs in this class. With the second pick in the second round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jonathan Taylor. Back-to-back running backs are taken here in the second round. I think that was the guy I was talking about earlier, how I kind of wanted. Yeah, I think that was the guy. It was either him or the other one. With the third pick in the second round, the Chicago Bears select Ben Bredeson out of Michigan. And that is a Michigan pick indeed. A terrible pick by the Bears. A 64 overall left guard. There is so much more talent on the board. But they decide to go with a left guard like that. With the fourth pick in the second round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Eno Benjamin, halfback out of Arizona State. Nice pick by the Vikings. They have so many running backs, though. An hour and 45 minutes of Perry just talking about players. Essentially, Broncos get Tua. I can see them getting Tua, but they have Teddy Bridgewater. With the fifth pick in the second round, the Denver Broncos select Travis Etienne. Nay, I think I pronounced that name really wrong, but there have been some pretty good picks, and only one of the 5 picks, 4 out of the 5 picks have been running backs in the second round. With the sixth pick in the second round, the Indianapolis Colts select Jared Pinkney, tight end out of Vanderbilt. Solid pick. I guess this is basically the Eric Ebron replacement. With the seventh pick in the second round, the Detroit Lions select Calvin Throckmorton, right tackle out of Oregon. That's not a terrible pick, I guess, but I'm going to guess he has normal. I am almost certain he has normal. So it's not a bad pick, but it's not a good pick either. With the eighth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft for the second round, the Seattle Seahawks select Paulson Adebo, cornerback out of Stanford. That's not a bad pick for the Seattle Seahawks, building that Legion of Boom. With the ninth pick in the second round, the Arizona Cardinals select Trey Adams, left tackle out of Washington. So the Cardinals get a nice offensive lineman, but I don't think he's that great, to be honest. Jets select Joe B. Moving on from Sam Darnold, I don't think, if we go with Sam Darnold, that would be kind of a disappointment and a bad pick for us, for the Jets. With the 10th pick in the second round, the New York Giants select Nathan Muti, a 70-04 overall right guard out of Fresno State. That is not a bad pick at all. And getting someone like him, pretty good. Robert Nindino, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? We are currently in the draft right now, and we have made some stellar selections. And this draft has been going really well for us. There have been some problem, or at least some problems as in how this... We have been getting a bit screwed over, I assume. But with the 11th pick in the second round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Anthony Jennings, left outside linebacker out of Alabama. You sound like an older Ock. Huh. Never gotten that comparison. I've gotten compared to PewDiePie. I got told that I sound like PewDiePie, right? Act like PewDiePie or something. But the Jets are going with Anthony Jennings. An okay pick, I guess, the replacement for Jordan Jenkins. But we are back on the clock. Select a QB. There is so many quarterbacks on this board. Shea Patterson would be the obvious pick. Just kidding. Receivers. There are some nice receivers. But there are some players that I have found that are diamond in the rocks that I might want to go with here. Obviously, there's some decent players. David Woodward. These two players are really good. Or at least they look real good. But we don't need them. That's the thing. This is the guy that I really want. He looks like a stud. And a fourth round talent. He looks like he could be the future of this Jags team. Other players on the board. We could also go with a receiver here. I think I know who I'm going to go with here. Spoderman. All right, then. With the 12th pick in the second round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Damian Drip, wide receiver out of Louisville, 74 overall, hidden development. That's a big-time pick as we pick up a very nice receiver out of Louisville. And this is a very good pick for us. Though we haven't gone with a quarterback yet, whatever quarterback we do decide to go with, they will enjoy Damian Drip. And now N'Keal Harry, he pairs up with a very talented wide receiver in N'Keal Harry. With the 13th pick in the second round, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Hakeem, I'm not even going to try, Adeniji, right tackle out of Kansas. Not a good pick whatsoever. Nothing good about it. With the 14th pick in the 2020 second round of the NFL Draft. I said that really wrong. But the Carolina Panthers select Troy Pride Jr. So I don't think they did a good job in the first round. But the second round, they certainly got a nice player. And he looks pretty good. I don't think he's that bad. With the 15th pick in the second round, the Tennessee Titans select Patty Fisher. So that was one of the middle linebackers I wanted. And he's going to go off the board going to Tennessee. 71 overall. But he could have had normal development. So I'm glad I went with Damian Drip. Be right back. All right, no worries, Lion. With the 16th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft of the second round, the Houston Texans select Jonah Jackson, cornerback or left guard out of Ohio State. An okay pick. They need offensive line, so it makes sense. So not a terrible pick. It's more of a need pick. With the 17th pick in the second round, the Seattle Seahawks select Najee Harris, halfback out of Alabama. So Najee Harris is going to Seattle. A very nice halfback running back combo. If he can get it going in Seattle, this team could be pretty good. With the 18th pick in the 2020 second round, the Kansas City Chiefs select David Woodward, 72 overall, out of Utah State. I told you those two middle linebackers were going to be good. And both of them ended up being pretty solid. With the 19th pick of the second round, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jacob Phillips, left outside linebacker, LSU. So they get a pretty solid left outside linebacker. With the 20th pick of the second round, the Cincinnati Bengals select Kindle Vildor, cornerback out of Georgia Southern. Not a bad pick. A great overall. And with the 21st pick, it'll be Carter Coughlin, right end out of Minnesota. So he's going to Dallas and joining DeMarcus Lawrence on that defense. With the 22nd pick, the New England Patriots select Antonio Gandy Golden out of Liberty. Not a good pick whatsoever, but knowing New England, Bill Belichick will probably turn this guy into a big-time receiver. 620, and I can't see out my window. I can't see out my window either. With the 23rd pick in the 2020 NFL second round, the Cleveland Browns select Shaheem Carter, cornerback out of Alabama. So that's not a bad pick for them. And now with the 24th pick of the second round, there is so much talent we could go with here. Obviously, Mendenhall might be someone we go with, but I want to go with who has green that's still on the board. Troy Dye. I think, honestly, we could go with a quarterback here. It makes sense. I would go with Onwenu, but we already picked up all of our offensive line. Our offensive line has been set. Parker Braun, get the defensive tackle. You know what? Let's do it. Jordan Elliott. And with the 24th pick of the second round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle out of Missouri. I said Missouri, but I meant to say Missouri. But a 68 overall. So our first bad pick, but he might be a plug-and-play player. So is every rebuild video 2 hours? This isn't a rebuild video. This is just the off-season. And I'm going to be speeding it up here soon. With the 25th pick in the second round, the LA Rams select CeeDee Lamb out of Oklahoma. With Jordan Elliott, that is a very nice pick for us. I think this defensive tackle should be a pretty good plug-and-play player. Even though he's a 66 he's a low overall, a 68 overall, he should be, he's going to be a starter. So he's going to get playing time. He could have some stats that teams are going to look past of him. With the 26th pick of the second round, the Indianapolis Colts select Raekwon Davis. With the 27th pick, the Baltimore Ravens will select Monty Rice, middle linebacker of Georgia. Not a good pick for them. Replacement for C.J. Mosley. With the 28th pick, the Dolphins select Jeff Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. Not a good pick. With the 29th pick, the Chicago Bears select Cameron Dantzler. So the Bears just answer back after making a terrible pick. They're going to select Dantzler. 30th pick, the Bills will be selecting Curtis Weaver. The Falcons will be selecting Darnay Holmes. And the Falcons get a huge steal here in the second round, late in the second round. That is a huge pick for the Falcons. So with the 32nd pick, the Chargers select Ben Cleveland. That caps off the second round. So now I'm kind of just going to... Albert's going to the Dolphins. So that's going to be a pretty solid offense. Broncos select A.J. Turrell out of Clemson. Tua Tagovailoa will finally be going off the board as he's going to Oakland. Lion Pro, you called it earlier. You said it would be Tua Tagovailoa would be going to the Raiders. So it will not be Tua time in Jacksonville. It will be Tua time in Oakland. With the 4th pick, the Vikings select Joe Burrow, another quarterback off the board. So here comes the quarterback, 69 overall. I believe he went to LSU. I don't know why it says not any. Next pick, Lonzo Hendricks. Not much to say. Ezra Cleveland. Not much. Trey Sermon is going to the Detroit Lions. So now the Lions have Kerryon Johnson and Trey Sermon. A nice running backfield. But Kerryon Johnson, the Lions are very aware of Kerryon's injury issues. With the, not 8th pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Colton Mick. Not even going to pronounce his last name. Not much to say. 9th pick, the Cardinals select Justin Dubine. Not much to say. 10th pick, Giants select Terrell Lewis, right end out of Alabama. And with the 11th pick, the New York Jets select Justin Herbert. They're going with a quarterback here in the 3rd round. And they might be moving on from Sam Darnold. Uh-oh. Sam Darnold's going to have some competition here in New York. And now with the 12th pick, I think it's time to take a quarterback. And here he is. Mikael Mendenhall. 6'3", 199 pounds, 21 years of age, from Illinois. He had the 3rd best broad jump, and he has some speed. He is basically a perfect quarterback, and we have some high interest. We have had having interest since we saw him play for Illinois. And with the 12th pick in the 3rd round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mikael Mendenhall, 68 overall, hidden development. So does he get plug and play? A solid player, 79 speed, lots that we could do here. And this is our quarterback for the future. And I think this is a great pick for us. What's your guys' reactions on the pick? All right. We'll move on. But Mendenhall is now a Jacksonville Jaguar. And then 13th pick, Buccaneers select Jordan Love. Spoderman. I think you're trying to spell Spooderman. Panthers select nothing. I think once we get to the 4th round, we're just going to sim to our user pick. Malik Harrison's going to from Ohio State, is going to the Seattle Seahawks. Kansas City Chiefs. Marcus Bailey's going to Philadelphia. Not a bad pick out of Purdue. Josh Jones going off the board. Logan Stenberg. Browns select Michael Onwenu, a right guard out of Michigan. So our right guard was better. And LeBron Ray. So with the defense. So now I think we should draft. There is another receiver on the board that I do want to go after. And that man is, let me find him. Johnny Adams McKinley. He was a creative player as well. But a 6'3", 180-pound receiver, 22 years of age, and he's out of Tennessee. He's early first-round talent. Here it comes. A 76 overall here in the 3rd round. And this player looks like a beast. This should be a starter day 1. So this offense is getting totally revamped. All right. A.J. Dillon out of Boston College is going to Baltimore. That's pretty interesting. Thomas Graham Jr. out of Oregon. We have reached the 4th round, so we are just going to be simming to our user pick instead of checking out. So now with this pick, I think honestly, we have receivers, we have tight ends. I think we have an offensive line. We have offensive line. We've solved that. Defensive tackle we need. Free safety we need as well. And there is a free safety on the board. This guy, Mark Winsdor, if he's a 70 overall, I will be happy with this pick. And with the 12th pick of the 4th round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mark Winsdor. He's a 68 overall hidden development. You've got to be kidding me. What a draft it has been for the Jaguars. I swear I'm not cheating. Oh my goodness. This team is now looking really good. We don't even need it. I'm so glad we picked them there. Who do we go with here now? What do we need? We could use some corner depth. USF. Lavert Hill. You know what? Let's trade down. Let's just trade away picks. Let's see what we can get for this pick. Can we get a 3rd next year? We can't. We'll pick up. I'm going to bet that just kill 5th. Good job, Josh. So we're going to. So Steven Montez is going to the Browns. I'm guessing just as depth. I think personally, I don't know who to go with here. I think we're going to go with a corner. And we'll go with Mike Hampton out of USF. Doesn't really we haven't seen any of him. We're just kind of guessing. With the 24th pick of the 4th round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mike Hampton of USF. 65 overall, normal development. More of just more of a depth. We need the depth. And we do not have a 5th round pick, which is fine. This team has already became what I wanted to. Anything else? We kind of need a receiver. Could go with one more. This guy had a really good combine. Let's go with him. He has some strength. Connor says you're a poopy head. I don't think I'm a poopy head. With the 12th pick of the... We're going to go with Chase Claypool. 59 overall. Worth a shot. Maybe we can see him. Let's see what else we have on here. So, 7th round pick. We're going to make one more pick. Let's see what we can do here. I don't want to go with a receiver. We've picked 3. I don't think we need a defensive tackle. I think we need a defensive end. I think we're going to go with Tipa Glay. He doesn't really have much. We haven't seen much, but he's 6'5", 240. Big player, 60 overall. Just depth purposes. So I'll take it. And that will do it. And that will cap off your 2020 NFL Draft. Now, I will be doing Maximum Football tomorrow since I didn't do it today. But let's take a look at the draft recap. This team is going to look sick. Andrew Thomas, the 3rd pick. 71 overall, has hidden development. So that's going to be a very nice offensive lineman. And this offensive line was terrible last year. Isaiah Simmons, a right outside linebacker, the replacement for Telvin Smith. He is going to be a big time right outside linebacker. And this linebacker core is real good. Center, Tyler Biadasz, he is a great center. He's good depth. Or he's not good depth. I should say he is going to be a plug-and-play player. It's either him or Brandon Linder that's going to be moved to a guard. So he's not bad. DeAndre Swift kind of accidentally pressed the X button to draft him. But an 82 overall was the top player in the draft. And now we have to make the decision of who do we trade. Mike Donna, left end out of Michigan, hidden development. So we had 5 straight hidden development picks. So that's really good. And then we go with Damian Lewis. This was the first pick that wasn't a hidden development, but still, if he can develop into a nice offensive lineman, to maybe a 76 by the end of the year, I say that's a big-time pick. Damian Drip, big-time receiver, 74 overall, hidden development. He's going to be a very nice receiver. Jordan Elliott, we went with 68 overall. He's going to be the starting defensive tackle. I don't know how good these defensive tackles will be, and we'll definitely need to address it. Not bad. Mikael Mendenhall, the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars, hidden development out of Illinois. Mikael Mendenhall, I am super excited to play with him. He has speed. He has basically everything that Gardner Minshew has, but he's better. And he has hidden development. Then we got Johnny Adams McKinley, 76 overall, hidden development. This guy is a beast. 93 speed. He is going to be a big-time receiver for this team. Mark Windsor, I went with him, and I'm glad. 68 overall, but he has hidden development. A lot of these rookies are going to be starting, and Mike Hughes will be moved back to corner. Then we picked up, and then these are just all depth picks. Mike Hampton, does he have anything that really I like? 90, not big. Chase Claypool, does he have any? He doesn't really have much that I like. And then Tipa Galay, not bad. He has some speed. So maybe he could be someone. Maybe we pick, but that'll do it. And I think there was one more player I wanted to draft, and I just remembered now. It was another creative player from the Discord. We are simming the offseason. We are simming to the regular season. I'm not playing the preseason. Or I might play it on my own, but I might not record it. There was a rookie kicker that I don't know if he's in here. He might have been drafted. And he was. Okay. So we didn't get all of... Alright. So I'm going to fix up the team, make sure everything looks good for week 1. Now, obviously, do we move DR? This offense looks really good, and I'm really excited to show you the play week 1. Move him. Tight end will be Jonnu Smith, not Terrell Pryor. Apparently, I can't start Jonnu Smith because I put Leonard Fournette at fullback for now. Defensively, this team looks real good. I'm going to move Mike Hughes back to... Oh, we have Brian. That's who we got. Okay. So we still have Brian, who's the defensive tackle. So that's not bad. This defense is going to be real good. It might be worse from last season. But from the fact that... Okay, I'm starting DeAndre Swift. I want to play with him. Defensively, this team looks beastly. Windsor looks real good. This team, next season, Jamal Agnew is also on the team. So, shout-outs to him. I'll make him the kick returner and punt returner. Yeah, okay, he's there. DeAndre Swift could also do it. But I guess that'll do it for the off-season episode of this. Hope you all enjoyed the video or the live stream. And if you haven't, leave a like on the stream. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.